Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. As some of you requested, this video is about tips to find accommodation in the UK. In this video, you will get to know about when is the right time to book your accommodation, which is better, the university accommodation or a private accommodation, some tips to choose the right accommodation for you, how to book your accommodation, make a payment and search for your guarantor. So if any of these topics interest you, this video is for you, so keep on watching. Now before we begin, let me tell you I'm making a series of videos about applying to UK universities. I've already made a video about the application process, how I have received a full scholarship to pursue my masters, and about my IELTS experience as well as my TB test. So if you're interested in any of that, you can go and check those videos out, and I'm sure you'll find those videos useful if you're planning to pursue your studies in the UK. Also guys, don't forget to subscribe to my channel to know every time I upload a video. And without further ado, let's move on with the topic of this video. While discussing about your accommodation in the UK, the first thing that you need to know is when is the right time to apply. Now, if you ask me, I would totally suggest that you should apply as soon as you receive your final offer letter. If you apply early, you are most likely to find accommodations with really good facilities and location at really good prices. While searching for your accommodation, you might really wonder which would be a better option, a university accommodation or a private accommodation. Also, when talking about private accommodations, there are two kinds that you can consider. One is the student halls, basically which is meant for students only, and the other are rooms that you can rent at private properties. Now, the advantage of student halls, whether it is university or private, is definitely more, and there are many reasons for this. First, the student hall is really safe and you don't have to worry about the security. The second advantage is that the rent you pay covers everything. It covers your gas, electricity, water, Wi-Fi, everything. And this will not be the case if you book a room at a private property. Another advantage of a student hall, at least in most of them, you get to have your own room with a private attached toilet. This is not the case if you are booking a room in a private property. You will have to share your bathroom, kitchen and every other thing with your housemates, and you'll have to share the bills with them. So if you're really not comfortable sharing bathroom with strangers, it just might not be the option for you. Talking about being with strangers, every person in a student hall will surely be a student at a university, and this might not be the case if you're renting a room at a private property. Your housemates may not be a student, they may be working professionals. It really depends. And to be very frank, the only advantage that I can think of booking a room at a private property is that it is cheaper. It is way cheaper than booking a room in a student hall for sure. So if you are looking for budget friendly options, you can consider booking a room at a private property. But otherwise, if you are to ask me, if you have some money to spare and looking for a lot more safe and secure environment, I think a student hall is definitely a wonderful option. And when you are talking about a student hall, it can either be a university accommodation or even private student halls. It's actually very hard to determine which one is better, a university hall or a private hall. Most universities start up accepting their accommodation applications quite late, whereas you can already start booking rooms at private halls way early. Most people choose the university accommodation because of course it's going to be the most reliable. But again, if you're someone like me who has already applied long back and have already received an offer letter and you don't know what else to do, you can consider booking a room at a private student hall. They're actually quite cheap. Many of them are a lot cheaper than university halls. Something that you should remember while booking a room at a private student accommodation is that you will find them in a lot of price ranges. So there are cheaper ones as well as, very expensive, luxurious ones. So there's actually a lot of options available for you. But when you're talking about a university accommodation, you will see that most of them are actually on the more expensive side. If you're looking for student accommodation specifically and you want to look for a cheaper option, you can consider private student accommodation. For most UK universities, if you're an international student, they will guarantee the availability of your room at any of their accommodation. So in that case, you can definitely try and wait till the end and book a student accommodation at your university. But if your university does not guarantee the availability of a room, then I would suggest that it's really a safe idea to book a room at a private student hall. So now that you know all about student accommodation, university accommodation and private accommodation, it's time to talk about how to book your accommodation. If you are planning to book a university accommodation, you can directly apply from your university's website. But if you're planning to apply for private accommodation, you can consider separate websites for booking them. You can either book your accommodation through the specific website of your property where you're planning to get a room. Otherwise, there are also separate websites that bring together and list different properties. This actually makes things easier for you because you get to compare and choose a room. So just to give you an example, I have booked a room at property owned by this company called Homes for Students. I actually found out about my accommodation through this website called Amber Student. What I had to do is I had to fill in a couple of details about myself and I had to select the property that I'm interested in. A representative from Amber Student got in touch with me through WhatsApp and helped me out in booking my accommodation. The process was really simple. They had done most of it. I hardly had to worry about anything. I just had to pay the deposit and a small service fee of £3, which is basically nothing for all the help that they have done. So I mean, I would totally recommend it to you. And this is not a paid promotion. I just really like their service, so just letting you all know that. So you can consider going through that website. You might actually find a really good accommodation for yourself. So as I just mentioned, I made my booking through Amber Student, but if you're not interested to book through a third-party website, you can directly book it through the property. For instance, if I had to book my room directly, I would go to the website of Via Homes for Students and book a room there. Similar to Homes for Students, there are a lot of other property owners with student accommodations such as Prestige Living, Fresh and a lot more. So you can either directly book through their websites or consider websites like Amber Student to make your booking. Now, when you're booking your accommodation, as you might already know, you will first have to pay a deposit. And now coming to the rent payment, you can either pay the complete rent before moving in or you can pay them in installments. But the thing is that if you pay the complete rent before moving in, you do not require a guarantor. But if you're paying in installments, you will require a UK guarantor. Who can be your UK guarantor? UK guarantor can be anybody who's staying in the UK and working there with a passport. So it could be your relatives, family, friends, anybody of that sort. It is understandable if you do not have family, friends or relatives staying in the UK. In that case, there are also UK guarantor service providers. There's one specific website called Housing Hands that I've heard of. I can't really tell you anything about how their services are because I haven't really availed their services, but I'm just aware that this is a company that provides a service as a guarantor. So you just have to provide your details to them. Depending on what your accommodation rent is, they're going to calculate your service charge and they will become your guarantor. So yeah, that was pretty much everything that I wanted to discuss in this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any doubt related to booking an accommodation, you can leave a comment below and I will definitely try to help you out. Make sure to like this video, share it with others who might be interested, and please subscribe to my channel. Once again, thank you so much and I'll see you guys very soon. Goodbye.